Good afternoon, everybody, and a happy lunchtime to you all. I'm delighted that you've been able to join us. So my name is Rona O'Donnell, and I'm here for the London Irish Centre, and we are running something called the Winter Wellbeing Season. And this event, which is a screening of a great short play called The Journey Home, and a chat about that play, is part of the Winter Wellbeing Season. So this season is a series of events throughout December, which are mostly online. Some of them are in person at our centre in Camden, London. And those events are designed to help us all get through these cold, dark months with the best head, heart, and soul possible. So what better way to, on that theme of well-being, talk about connection than to be talking with the writer, producer, and director of a play that was made internationally during lockdown. We are live today, so if you'd like to let us know where you're watching from, drop us a little comment on Facebook or YouTube. And if you have any comments or questions at all, put them in there and we'll see your comments during the show. Also, we have loads of videos which you can watch on our Facebook page, London Irish Centre, where you are now, under the video section. So you'll be able to catch up with all of the things we've done so far in the season. And keep an eye on our socials, please, for some more events, which I'll be telling you about later. But now, I am really lucky to be virtually joined by three excellent people. Please may I introduce you to Aduke Gomez, who is the producer, the co-producer and co-founder of 10 Page Productions Theatre Company. Aduke is joining us today from her base in Lagos, Nigeria. And Aduke, would you believe, founded this theatre company with her partner, Ladi Daudu, in the middle of the pandemic. You are not only a producer, Aduke, I'm well aware, you are a published poet, a children's writer. Aduke also has a legal background, and she works for the Lagos State on an initiative called Art for Life, which is mixing art with healthcare for some very happy results among patients. So your winter well-being all over the shop, Aduke. And then I have...
Hello, Mona.
Go on.
Lovely to be here.
Delighted.
I said, it's lovely to be here. Thank you.
I am delighted you're here. And then we have Anna Cunningham. Now, Anna Cunningham is the writer of this play, and she's joining us from London, England. She used to live in Nigeria. And what you will find out is that every person on this call has an Irish connection. So Anna she may be a first-time playwright, but she's an established news journalist, and she has been a freelance foreign correspondent for years in places such as Nigeria, France, and India. And Anna has also been a reporter from conflict zones, such as Afghanistan. And the subject matter of this play has a personal family connection to Anna, which we'll hear about later. And now, may I please introduce our director, who is Bissi Adigun. Now, Bissi is joining us today from Osun State in Western Nigeria. And Bissi is he's a director here for this play, but in the rest of his life, he's also a playwright, a producer. And Bissi used to lecture in the drama department at Trinity College, Dublin. And he also set up the first African theatre company in Ireland in 2003, Arumbe Productions. And then he was artistic director of that company for many years. So I'm really happy to have you here today. And in your current life, you are a senior lecturer in theatre arts in a university in the western state of Osun in Nigeria. And so welcome to you all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, Aduke, I must ask you, setting up a theatre company in a pandemic, tell all, why and how did it come about?
Okay, so during the pandemic, during lockdown, one of the things that I and my daughter would watch online theatre from the National Theatre of the UK and all that. And I began to think about, after the pandemic, how would theatre be? And would we all feel comfortable going back into the theatre? And I thought about how sad it would be if theatre could not continue. And because stories are the start of any theatre, I thought, oh, okay, if there's a way of getting new writers to write new stories, and we could have those stories acted out on Zoom, that perhaps that would be a way of stimulating theatre in our little way. So I spoke to a friend of mine who eventually became my co-producer, Ladi Daudu, and he's an IT person in his real life, but he acts. And I said to him, "Oh, you know what? If I can get 10 new plays, can you find people, actors to act them?" And he said, "Oh, yes, 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 sure, of course." But I mean, you would, right? So
I think Aduke has frozen, which is a shame because she was being very interesting. But such is the way when we connect all over the world. I bet all of you have experienced this throughout your project together.
Indeed,
So
indeed.
until Aduke unfreezes herself. No, is she coming back? No, she's briefly popped out and she will be back.
Okay, no, I'm back. Okay, I think it's the internet. I'm so sorry. I think there was a switchover from the generator to the main. So anyway, so I contacted Ladi. He got the actors and we had our plays. Anna, I had approached. I knew Anna when she used to live in Lagos. My mother was Irish. Anna has an Irish background with her family, and so we used to talk our heritage, our Irish heritage. Knew the story of her.
Okay, so we're still having a tiny bit of a problem.
Why don't you write the play? And Anna was like, "Oh yes," and I said, "Oh please, please, please." Eventually, she wrote the play. So I had the play, but I didn't have any Irish actors. And I thought, wow. So in my internet travels, I come across the name of Bissi Adigun. I'd seen his profile. I thought, oh, a Nigerian director who has an Irish background would understand the nuances in the play. But the only problem was I didn't know Bissi. I'd never met him. So I called around, finally found somebody who knew him and who agreed to introduce us. I spoke to him on the phone, persuaded him that look, I have this great play, but we don't have actors. I explained to him the project that we have 10 plays. We're going to put it all on Zoom, and it's all pro bono. And Bissi just said, "Oh wow, great! Send me the play. Let me have a look." Sent him the play. Waited with bated breath. Then he came back and said, yes, he'd do it, and he cast it. So yes, that was how we began. And the other 9 plays are in production. We have 5 that are in editing at the moment. 2 will start rehearsal in January, and the other 2 are being cast as we speak.
Well, this is great. And yes, indeed. So this play that we're going to be seeing today after we chat, The Journey Home, is the first of 10 productions as part of the 10PP, 10-page productions for short, matinee season. And so that is some feat that you've managed to get 10 plays on the go. Now, Anna, I'd love to ask you, because your experience as a professional working person is as a journalist and as a foreign correspondent and working in conflict zones. So how different was it for you writing a play and working on a production like this?
Very different. I mean, as a journalist, you know, I am used to very tight deadlines, turning things around, you know, for the top of the hour, basically, is what we'd say. You know, a news story breaks and you're on air and you're giving the facts straight away. Whereas this, writing a play was very different. This, as I'm sure, you know, you'll explain a bit more, is a very personal story. It's one that's been with me throughout my life, really. And to bring it to the screen was, it was quite a difficult thing in that it was so personal. But the characters, you know, obviously there's you know, dramatic license within the play, but the characters working on, you know, what they said and the whole script and bringing it together. And also, I think that perhaps the one advantage that I did have is that Aduke said, you know, this is 10 minutes and that's what you've got. So perhaps I was able to bring my journalistic skills into that, to making sure that it was kept short. But what really was amazing was when we started out and, you know, Bissi got the actors together and everybody met on screen and had the rehearsals. It was just amazing to see it all come together and to have the expertise from around the world. You know, we were doing this from Nigeria, myself in London, the actors in Ireland, and bringing everybody together and seeing how it worked was something very new for me, you know, the behind the scenes of theatre. But it's been an incredible experience. And I'm really quite amazed that we've actually got this play during lockdown completed, you know, from the moment I started writing to the moment that it was finished editing and broadcast. It's been an incredible journey, really, I think, for myself and for all of us.
And Bissi, how did you find it as a director? What's it like directing over Zoom? And how do you think your three actors experienced it?
Well, thank you very much, Rona. I have to say, when Aduke first contacted me, I thought we have this Yoruba proverb that he or she who does what has never been done before is certainly going to see what has never been seen before. So, but I love challenges. So I thought this was very challenging. How on earth are we going to try as much as possible? There's one case to try and direct actors face to face. There's another thing to direct them virtually. But the first thing that you need as a theater maker is a very good play. So that's what Anna did. Anna provided us with a very good play that ends in a way that everybody will be going, wow, you know. So it was a very challenging thing for me. But what I told Aduke was, for me, I think this is a marriage of directing television live performance as well as stage performance. You know, when you're seeing live performance on telly, it's a different ballgame because you have the benefit of 1 minute or so. When you're on stage, it's a different ballgame. So what I did was I tried first and foremost at Katrina Nirasi, with whom I've worked a number of times. I worked with her in 1997, and again I worked with her in 2017. And also, while I was checking her online through Facebook, I saw that she had done something similar to this. I think she did a monologue online or something like that. I thought, okay, give it the right person because we've worked together before. And it was through her that I got the other actors, that is Sean, as well as Michael. And lo and behold, what I told them was, this is pro bono. You're going to be your own stage manager. You're going to be your own set designer. You're going to be your own sound designer. You're going to be your lighting designer. In fact, you're going to do your makeup yourself. And all the props you're going to need, you're going to provide them yourself. You're okay with that? I said, fine. That rehearsal. I told Aduke that the first thing to do is to rehearse. And we met with, of course, as you would do in real life, we met with Anna Cunningham to do what I call textual analysis of the play. Why did you write this? What do you mean by this? Can we change this? For instance, the first, I think the title originally was Home. You are correct, Anna. But we decided to change it to something because there are other things that are called Home. So it was just a matter of trusting your actors, telling them what to do, because they've worked with you before. So what happens is, when we are on camera and we're recording, they are live. But when they are not seen, they're backstage. So they can do whatever they want to do backstage, and when they come on stage, they do what the director says they should do. And that's about it.
Well, that is fantastic. And I have to say, it sounds like such an exciting process. I can just imagine that you all worked quite merrily together by the sounds of. And Anna, we touched on it earlier. I wonder if you'd be happy to tell us some more about your family and the subject matter of this play, because all three characters are based on members of your own family.
They are, yes. The main character, Mary, is based on my grandmother. Now, my grandmother moved to Coventry quite early on in her marriage. I need to get my facts right on all of this, as I'm sure.
Don't worry, you're not right.
But my granny and granddad were originally from Cavan, from a small place called Dungimmon. And the story that I grew up hearing is because from when I was age 5, my grandmother moved in with us, and she started to have quite a lot of senile dementia. She must have been in her 80s at this point. And there was one thing that she always used to say to me, and I remember it as a very young child. She used to talk about the night of the big raid. And as a young child, I really didn't understand what the significance of it was. But I knew that this was something very emotional, but she would never really go into much detail about what she meant. But she'd occasionally slip in and out of, a certain amount of lucidity when she talked about the night of the big raid. So to cut a long story short, over the years, she lived until she was 97. She was a strong Cavan woman who lived to a good age. And she was quite a domineering character. And I think that's something that perhaps comes out in the play. But over the years, I've looked back into the history of this night in Coventry, and I've started to piece together what I know about what happened with my family. And I've spoken, my dad was there, but he was very young, and he has such brief memories. My uncles were there. My aunts were very, very small, so they don't really remember. But there was an older brother who was 15 at the time, my Uncle Tommy, and he and his wife years ago moved to Australia. And he fortunately talked about his experience and about World War II to his son, my cousin. So I was able to connect. And this was when I was doing all this research. I was living in Nigeria at the time. So I had this very strange moment where I was having a conversation between Lagos in Nigeria and my cousin in Perth in Western Australia, talking about our Irish family and what happened to them in Coventry. We were doing this whole connection. But the story came together. And as I say, there is some dramatic license, which obviously, you're allowed when you're writing a play. But I have pieced together what is a depiction and inspired by the real life events to write this play. And I think it's interesting because quite a few of my cousins have got in contact with me having seen it, and they said that they're really pleased that what happened has been preserved for history. And I think that's another really important thing, that, this is 80 years ago now, and we can easily forget what happened. But the art gives us a way to keep telling this story and to keep it in people's minds, because, it had such an impact on the city of Coventry. It had such an impact on the Irish people who were living there. And this is another thing for me, is that I grew up in Coventry, and there is a big Irish population in Coventry, but we never really hear about the Irish in Coventry during World War II and how it was a very difficult time for them and what happened to them. So this was everything that inspired me to bring this play together.
And could you talk a little bit about how you married modern technology with the historical aspect in production?
Do you want me to mention about that?
That would be lovely.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have 2 small children, and my eldest is 9 years old, probably going on about 15, as I'm sure most mothers of 9-year-olds would tell you. And during lockdown, she found it incredibly difficult, this idea of not being able to see her friends and not being able to play together. And so immediately there was this link online, and you see that all of us got online, and that is the only way we could communicate, apart from the old-fashioned telephone, but to communicate and explain what's going on and have that interaction. And I just thought, what would it have been like during World War II, during this time when Coventry was being bombed, if the people involved were able to communicate over, a visual medium as we're using now, or any of the other platforms. And so when I was writing it, that's how I imagined it. I imagined, 1940 with Zoom, basically, and how people would have been able to share their communications and their anxieties and what they were actually going through there and then. And I think it just gave us the opportunity in the play to really put the emotions of what was going across out there in the short time frame that Aduke had given us of 10 minutes, for the play.
Well, I think that comes across really well, and it's something I love about the play, and I know we'll all get a chance to see that very shortly indeed. And well, the play was edited in quite a lovely, striking way, I think, and that was done by Aduke's co-producing partner, Laddie, and I believe he had to also step in because Aduke, did you fall a little bit or a lot bit ill during the production?
Yes, I did. Just when we'd got everything together, we'd had the first two meetings, so that we'd all met online. Myself, Laddie, Bissi, Anna, Catriona, Michael, and Sean, and we had about like 2 meetings. We'd spoken about how it would look. We'd spoken about the baby, how the baby would be, and I think it was like just before the third one, I felt so ill, so dreadfully ill. And I mean, in these COVID times, you can imagine what one thought. But anyway, luckily, but I was really, really ill. I was in hospital on and off. And by the time I got back to the production, the rehearsals were over, and it had been filmed, and it was now at the editing stage. And Laddie and Bissi did a great job. They really did. And when I wasn't there, I mean, the fact that Laddie was able to hold the fort. I mean, what more do you need in a co-producer? So
exactly.
So, and he did a great job. So Laddie, myself, and Bissi now worked on the presentation. Bissi had the great idea to make it in black and white so that it would look like a World War II film. And I think the response has been very positive, and I've been actually been really, really quite touched at the positivity at the response to the play. And as Anna knows, at least from the Nigerian responses of those who have watched it, when is part 2 coming out?
Great. Well, you can't ask for more than that. Now, as we have here, obviously, a strong Nigerian-Irish connection, what similarities or differences do you think there are between the Irish and the Nigerian communities? And I'll throw that open to anyone who wants to answer it.
Okay.
I think there's a lot of similarities.
Yes. I really agree. My mother was Irish. She met my father when he was a student in Trinity, and they lived in Nigeria. But I think it's the sense of family. It's the sense of hospitality. I think it's the importance of religion, even if not going to church every day, but just the fact that it shapes your perhaps your social interactions to an extent. And I think that it's I think there's an ease between the two cultures that allow for that synergy to take place. And on the Nigerian side as well, Saint Patrick is the patron saint of Nigeria as well as the patron saint of Ireland. And a lot of Nigerians have been educated by Irish nuns and priests. So we have, so there's quite a large exposure to the Irish thinking by a lot of Nigerians. I mean, I'll let the others say what they think as well.
Well, Bissi, I'd love to ask you, because you've lived in Ireland. Am I right? Are you permanently based in Nigeria now, or do you, when trotting is allowed, do you trot back and forth?
Well, I try to, COVID allowed, I try to go back to see our daughter, Aniola, who's one day is going to become like Miss Aduke Gomez, you know. So she's there, I go see her regularly. But I think Miss Aduke Gomez is very correct. Aside from religiosity, also have a love for the storytelling. And you can see that Miss Anna Cunningham, what he has done is our life is very transient. Everything is in transition. But through arts, we're able to make it permanent. And that's what she has done with her writing. That's very personal to her. That happened almost 80 years ago. We try to do that in Nigeria too. Aside from that, don't forget our coloniality. We are also post-colonial nations. So we have a certain attitudes towards the British. I'm sorry to say that, Anna, but that's the reality of life. You know? So, actually, I know somebody who wrote our essay, our master's essay titled The Nigerians. She's Irish, as said the Nigerians, our Irish brothers, you know what I mean? So we have a lot of things in common, without a doubt, you know? But perhaps to add to a little bit of what Anna has said about how we use technology, modern day technology, to tell a story that happened about 80 years ago. I thought that was very fantastic. The first thing we did was to use the whole idea of Facebooking or visual conversation as a dramatic device. You know, we use it not only to tell a story, because we could not see ourselves face to face, but we also use it as a dramatic device. And I think kudos to Anna for doing that. And regarding the editing, I think Ladi is not here now. Well, Ladi was not only the editor, Ladi was also the amazing technical director. You know what I mean? So what he did was able to tell us when you come on, how you're going to be, where you're going to be, why you have to look right instead of looking left. So it was very detailed. And these are the things that I would not do as a street director. So he brought his excellence in his expertise in digital technology to bear, and that's how we were able to work well together, including when we were editing. The editing was very much like cutting films and adding them together. So it was really meticulous.
Yes.
Well, fantastic. And I guess that's why the play works so well, because you all came at it with a very clear vision, and everything was very well thought through by all the members of the crew, by the sound of. And I think that really helps people working on it to feel at home, to feel that they can contribute, and then everyone makes something that they are rightly very proud of. And we're now almost at the point to show everyone your beautiful work. And before we do, I would just like to point people, after we've watched this 12-minute play, I'd like to let people know how they can watch the remaining 9 plays in the 10pp matinee season. So Aduke, am I right that the best way is for people to subscribe to the 10 Page Productions YouTube channel?
Absolutely, yes. There, and also on our YouTube, on our Facebook as well, which is the same. In that gap between Christmas and New Year, when everybody loses track of what the days are, that's when we're going to bring out some then, and then in the new year, we'll bring out the rest.
Great.
So,
and one of those plays coming out between Christmas and New Year is called Certainly Sir, which I believe,
Yes. Certainly Sir is an interesting play. It's a play that shows us the effect that human emotion can have on artificial intelligence. The 2 actors are in Nigeria, but it is directed by an English director who is based in the UK. So that also had a trans-border cultural connection as well.
which is great, because what is part of 10pp Productions is your desire to connect to creatives who are from different cultural backgrounds. Are you back? The joys of Zoom, everybody. And also, I know that 10pp, 10 Page Productions, is very keen to work with emerging writers.
Okay, so setting up Nigeria and married. Yes, I'm. See me.
You are back and you are frozen. So I'm going to quickly wrap things up today. So you all know, follow 10 Page Productions on YouTube, and that is how you'll be able to see the remainder of the plays in the season. And this event today, which I've been really privileged to be in a virtual room with these three people. And Aduke has now left us due to the joys of technology, but we know that she is the co-producer and co-founder of what is happening here. And this winter wellbeing season, as part of the London Irish Centre's December activities, continues tonight. So you can come back here 7 o'clock on Facebook and YouTube, where DJ and music producer, Arveen, will be hosting 3 of his favourite emerging artists, who are Aisling Logan. She's a Belfast-born, London-living singer. Then we also have with Arveen Luke Carey, who lives in North London. And then we have Maurice O'Connor, who is AKA Sample Answer. And he's a musician and a poet and a painter. And they're all going to be having a chat and some performance. 7 till 7:30 tonight. Come back on and follow us on the London Irish Centre socials to keep your eye on more winter wellbeing season events. But now, it just remains for me to thank very, very much Anna Cunningham, the writer, joining us from London, England. Bissi Adigun, the director, joining us from Osun State, Western Nigeria. The absent but ever-present producer, Aduke Gomez, joining us from Lagos, Nigeria. And it's my great pleasure that we can all sit back and enjoy their play, The Journey Home.
The play you're about to watch is entitled The Journey Home by Anna Cunningham. It is inspired by real-life events that happened back in November 1940 during the Second World War. Peter is played by Michael McCabe. Mary is played by Katrina Nirasi, and Tommy is played by Sean Egan. Thanks for joining us, and I hope you enjoy the performance.
Jesus. Mary, hello? Hello? Hello, are you there? Oh, for God's sake, how does this thing work?
Hello, Peter, hang on. Francis, would you come here? Here, take your sister. Just a minute. No, I'm off talking to your dad. Just hold on to her there. Peter, come on to bed now. Come on. Go on.
What? Mary, what are you talking about bed?
What? What is this?
What are you talking about bed?
Oh, I'm not a silly idiot. I'm talking to Peter. Your son, Peter. He should be asleep by now. Honestly, these children. Anyway, look, how are you? What's happening there? Is Tommy all right? Is he going to Mass?
Ah, sure, he's grand, so. He's helping out. Yes, he's getting there every Sunday. Look, it's fine, Mary. Don't you go worrying yourself now about us. I've got work. I'll get the money over to you. But you know, don't worry about us here. This war is just fine for now. They won't go getting us here in Coventry. Do you know, it's busier now than ever. All fine. It's better than a few years ago. There's more work. I've got work at Armstrong Siddeley. I'm doing my bit. Anyway, what about you? How's the farm? How is Oni? Is he managing? Is he getting you to work all hours of the day? Are the children okay?
Sure, Peter, you know how it is. They're having to farm the land for the war effort. I have a table of about 20 in and out every morning and at tea. I don't know where Oni is finding these men. He's bringing them in from all over. He's working them hard. He's making me work hard too, but sure, what can I do? Honest to God, I wish he'd find himself a good woman soon. I'm his sister, not his mammy.
I wish you and the children were here.
Yeah, I know. You know, I was thinking about that.
Don't be thinking anything there now, Mary. You're fine as you are. You and the children are safe there. And besides, don't you make the best breakfast in Cavan so we can see why Oni wants you there?
Yes, but Peter, I have the children to watch. You know, it isn't... What is it? Give her here to me. Peace, just 5 minutes. There, now, Claire, there. Look, Peter, you haven't even seen her yet.
Look at the little one. She's the spit of her mother. I wish I was there.
Yes, Peter, now I was thinking about that. I've made a decision. I've been having a little think about it, and I think I'll come back to Coventry. You know, I'd rather be there with you and have the family together. We've no idea how long this war is going to go on for, and I'd rather be with you and Tommy and have the whole family together over there in Coventry. It makes sense. And I'm telling you now, I'm not only servant, I mean cooking all those breakfasts every day. I know he's always forever saying that I can set a good plate, but I don't want this. We need to be together. I miss you. So there it is. I've made the decision. I'm going to get the tickets for the boat. We'll come on the train from Holyhead to Birmingham, then on to Coventry. The children need to see their father. Okay? Peter, what do you say? Please say you're happy about this. I mean, I know it's the war and everything, but Peter, Jesus. Francis, come here. Tommy?
Mammy, hello. Where are you?
Hello, Tommy, love. How are you? Why is your face such a mess? Did you have a bath before Mass?
Mammy, don't worry about me. We just had a few of those, you know, the old incendiary bombs drop. I'm fine though.
The what? A few what? Bombs? What's happening?
Mammy, it's fine. You don't need to be worrying. I have a job as a water carrier, you know, putting the fires out. I just help out when it's needed. Honestly, Mammy, it's fine. They're not getting us.
Tommy, you're 15 years of age. Are you sure it's safe? You shouldn't be playing around with them bombs. Your dad said it was okay over there. Everything was quiet.
Yeah, well, look, Mammy, I'm fine, yeah? I'm quick on my feet, remember? Now, don't you go worrying. Me and Dad, we're fine. And anyway, how are the girls? And Francis and Peter, how are me wee brothers? Are they helping you? And what about yourself, Mammy?
Look, there's no time for all that now. Listen to me, Tommy. You need to promise me what I'm telling you now you'll keep to yourself.
Why? What?
Just say you will.
Yes, okay, Mammy, but Mammy, where are you now?
We're at the port. We're about to get on the boat.
The what?
The boat. We're coming over to Coventry. We're getting on some naval boat.
Hold on. You're where?
Tommy, I don't have time for your questions. Just do what I say. Look, you'll meet us tomorrow. We're coming on the train from Holyhead to Birmingham. You'll meet us there at the usual place. You sort the tickets out for Coventry. You can help with your sisters and your brothers. And then when your dad's over the shock, we'll all sit down and have tea together at home, okay? Now don't forget, don't tell your dad. I have to go. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners. Connect, Peter, connect. Come on. Where are you? Oh, Jesus, what have I done? Come on, Peter, come on.
Hello? Hello, Mary. It's not a good time. There's a thing going on here. It's not grand, but it'll be fine. Look, I'll call you tomorrow. I've really got to go. Okay, I'll call you tomorrow.
No, Peter, wait. I'm here. We're here. Listen.
Wait, what? What? Where? You're where? Mary? Where are you?
Coventry.
What?
Coventry.
Oh, Jesus. Mary, what on earth are you doing here? Stop. Wait. Where are you? Where are the children? Jesus! There are bombs dropping everywhere.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to surprise you. I didn't know this was happening. I didn't know Hitler was going to surprise you before I did.
Oh, for the love of God! Jesus, Mary and Joseph, why? And where are the children?
Tommy, they're here. We're here. I don't know where we are. We're in the city centre. We're in a bomb shelter. Tommy, where are we exactly?
We're in Owen, in the shelter underneath the big store.
What? Tommy's with you?
Look,
Oh my God, Jesus.
I'm sorry, Peter.
Why the bloody hell did you leave Ireland? Mary, why did you leave? All you had to do was to stay and to make the breakfast and make the tea. For Jesus' sake, what were you thinking, woman? Oh my God. Mary! Mary!
I'm sorry. I just wanted to be with you. I needed to get away. The house, the farm, being the housekeeper, that's not me. I needed to leave. Oh, Jesus, what have I done? I didn't know. You said everything was okay in Coventry. I didn't know.
Mary, you daft woman. Honestly. Look, this line, it's not going to last. You just stay where you are. Look, I don't know how long we'll be in this. Just stay put. Tommy, he knows his way around. He'll have you taken to the right place. Just stay put. I'm going to try to find you.
Peter! Oh, God. Tommy, what's happening? Can we come out?
Mammy, Christ, I don't know how we survived this. It's like some kind of miracle.
Tommy, they're bringing us out. We're about to come out.
Be careful. There's still fires, and there's unexploded bombs.
Tommy, go see if the house is still standing. Go find your dad. He's not answering. Oh, Peter, where are you?
I was by the hunger pressed and in poverty distressed, so I took a thought I'd leave the Irish nation. Here's you boys, now take my advice. To America I'll have yous not be common. There is nothing here but war, where the margin cannons roar, and I wish I was at home in dear old Dublin. Well, I sold me horse and cow, my little pigs and sow, my tiny plot of land I soon did part.